In a world filled with supernatural phenomena, three explorers of the unknown answer the real questions concerning the field of paranormal investigation. Vinny Gomez, Natalie Jane, and Mike Wolfer guide you to the depths of paranormal studies, creepy movies, games, and comics, and more from the world of horror and geek culture. Turn out the lights, turn on your EMF detector, and prepare yourself for the Haunt Squad podcast.
This is Vinny Gomez, and I'm with Mr. Mike Wolfer.
That's
and
me.
Miss Natalie Jane. How are you today, guys?
We're good.
Great.
Yeah.
So what do you think of that intro?
I think it sucked, to tell you the truth.
Dude.
I don't know. It's all right, I guess.
You know, honestly...
Who did it, though? Natalie?
Yes.
Guilty.
No, just a little something I threw together in Audacity, which is the greatest audio editing software ever. You know, I don't know. It needs tweaking, I think.
Good attempt. Yeah.
Whatever. You wait till next week. You wait.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next week. Well, guys, this is show number 2. We're on show number 2. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
The first one, I don't know the actual statistics, how it did, but from what I can tell, got a lot of listeners.
Yeah, we had over 200 downloads in just 2 days.
I don't know anything about the podcast world.
Sure.
That's good.
Yeah, for a starting show.
Put down the bourbon, Vinny.
Sorry. Normally, you know. Yeah, for a starter, it actually worked out really well for us.
Cool.
We had a lot of people actually come back with some positive comments.
Yeah.
You saw on Facebook.
We saw some stuff on Twitter.
Yeah, it's really cool. I even had some friends over the pond over in Europe that actually sent me some really positive reinforcements.
Oh, cool.
So I think we're okay, guys.
Excellent.
I really do.
Hopefully, you know, what we have to put out there it may not be polished or professional,
No,
but
we don't care.
We try to be honest, and that's the whole point of the show.
Although I really think we should have recorded everything we were talking about prior to putting on the mics. I really do, because you were yelling out some wild stuff, and Natalie was yelling at you for yelling at the wild stuff.
We can put that stuff in the Haunt Squad podcast extra.
You know what? And
you
it's
know?
funny you bring that up. SoundCloud.
Actually, it was planned.
Yeah, right.
If you look at your notes.
What notes? Oh, the notes. Yeah. We're actually planning on putting out what they call bonus material from the show. It could be anything from stuff that's going on background. Before the show, we just record something. We're just talking, and we bring up something stupid or fun.
Right.
Or you guys. I'd love to have you guys do some reviews of some of the movies that you guys have watched.
We
in the
should
past.
do that.
So that could be something, or it could be a piece of audio that we may have gotten from one of our investigations,
right.
Or a sound clip that we just throw this out there and see what happens. So it's anything, and we'll throw it up on the SoundCloud site. We'll promote it via Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
And just something extra from us.
That's cool.
A little gift.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what has been going on with you guys, Mike? I have to say, Widow.
Yeah.
Has gone through its Kickstarter.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Widow Archives Kickstarter. I ran that from March something until April something. But the campaign's over. It was very, very successful. People listening, if you don't know what Kickstarter is, it's a website where creators can they post a project that they want to do, and it's a fundraising site. They call it crowdfunding, where people who like what you have to offer can actually contribute money in order to get that thing made. And in exchange for contributing money, they get rewards. They get like signed and numbered editions of a comic, if that's what the project is. There's music, there's novels, video games, all kinds of creative endeavors can be funded on Kickstarter, and I do these Kickstarters to fund the production of these comics that I'm self-publishing. So I just did one for Widow Archives. Widow is a character that I did back in the 90s, and she hasn't been in print for a while, and people keep asking me at conventions, dude, when are you gonna like put out trade paperbacks collecting the old stuff? And I never had the time or the money or any of that to do it. But now with Kickstarter, it's like, okay, great, I can pay to have these things printed, rather than paying out of pocket. So yeah, it was cool.
And
Worked really
you
well.
can keep up with the payments on the Lamborghini that's outside.
Dude, that's paid off, man. The Curse of Ragdoll paid for that.
Whoa, okay, hold on. Sorry. So you need to pay the insurance on the car.
So yeah, so we're doing that, and actually the production work now is being done by Natalie Jane, and it's fun and exciting work, isn't it?
It is.
No, it isn't. Lies.
She's currently holding her fists together and just wants to grind her teeth. You can vent if you'd like.
Well, tell him what. I don't even know if you know what she's doing.
Is
now.
I'm scanning all the pages, and then I'm going into Photoshop, and I'm cleaning them all up.
How many did we end up? It's like something like 400 and something pages.
Oh my
total of 400
God.
pages.
Because there's 4 volumes. The Widow Archives is 4 different trade paperbacks.
So I'm going to ask a dumb question. What do you take the old comics and just put it on a scanner, open it up real flat, or do you have the panels that you originally did?
Unfortunately, I do not have the original art.
Really?
So that's exactly what we're doing. We're scanning from existing comics.
Wow.
Printed comics.
That's
so
gotta be
that's why she's
rough.
got to do all that cleanup work, because you're not shooting from the original. So
Yeah, there's a lot of, I want to say color correction because it's in black and white, but basically, whiting up the whites and blackening the blacks and just trying to even everything out.
Holy cow. I didn't realize it. I thought you had the originals,
No.
the original panels, and you're just kind of holy cow.
No.
That's
And then,
ridiculous.
but you know what's cool about it is that I did this stuff, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, whatever it was. And I'm looking back at the pages and going, oh my God, I sucked so bad. Holy shit, look at the forehead on that guy, or the lack of, or geez, her eyes are like bigger than her mouth. And so I'm able to go in digitally in Photoshop and correct all the facial features,
All right, wait a
and
second.
anatomy and stuff.
So now you have an original drawing that maybe the face looks a little bit flatter than it would.
I'm flattered.
Flatter than what it should. So do you physically draw it and then put it in, scanned it in?
No, just open the file in Photoshop, take the old lasso and grab the nose and move it over a
Do you
bit,
use like a pen when you do that? Like one of
Actually,
those,
no, just
like,
a mouse. I know.
Holy crap.
I
Are you
know.
kidding
We're
me?
high tech.
No, because I try to do that. I can barely work a mouse on the computer. And
Yeah.
you're actually, what do you, like, enlarge it and then kind of just move it, or you just kind of keep
Yeah.
it?
Yep. Exactly.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
I would-
pretty much.
I would lose my mind.
Yeah. But it's going to be a cool looking book when we're done, and we're getting ready to. I'm doing a monthly series. Do you know about that?
No.
Daughters of the Dark Oracle.
No, tell
it's
me about
called.
it.
It's Ragdoll.
Okay.
I did the Curse of Ragdoll trade paperback last summer, funded through Kickstarter, and the reader and the reviewer responses were like really, really good.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and I was just putting the thing out because I wanted to have something to sell at conventions. I mean, it's as simple as that. Like I go to a show and hey, I got a table and I'm set up in Artist Alley or whatever. I don't have anything to sell. I don't have any of my own books. All the Avatar stuff that I've done, I don't have any of that. So
Wow.
I needed something in order to pay the bill and the bills, to pay for food and hotel and all that.
In the Lamborghini.
So I did the Curse of Ragdoll in the Lamborghini,
Right.
just so I'd have something to sell, and I didn't expect it to take off the way it did. It made. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling. These are the facts. It made several like best of lists for 2014, and it wasn't even distributed to comic stores. It was just like through mail order.
Yeah, you sold
Yet
it
somehow
outright.
I still
Okay.
made these lists of like best graphic novel of the year and stuff.
Well, I'll be honest with
crazy.
you. I backed the Kickstarter,
You
and
did.
I got a cop. Well, I got a copy plus a couple of copies, and
Right.
the story is phenomenal.
Oh, cool.
So, I'm not surprised with it. God, I sound so far away from this stupid thing. I'm not so surprised that it would actually hit those lists and
cool.
whatnot. I apologize
Well,
for
that's
the,
cool. I appreciate
The
it.
lettering was superb.
Yeah, Natalie's lettering was just like stellar.
Stellar.
It was otherworldly.
So now you're branching off.
Oh, right.
And,
So
and creating this new, along with Ragdoll, she's going to be involved in the Daughters of the Dark Oracle.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm going to do a regular monthly comic series that's distributed through stores, through Diamond Comics.
So you got a distributor for it now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, all right. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And the first issue of that comes out in July.
Uh-huh.
And to begin the series, we're reprinting that story from the Curse of Ragdoll. So
Okay.
the first 4 issues of Daughters of the Dark Oracle is the retelling of that story from the Curse of Ragdoll, and then we'll follow that with new material. So-
Okay, so now, are the Daughters of the Dark Oracle, are they going to be like a team, like the Avengers kind of thing, or are they kind of like against each other?
Yeah, they all
or-
wear like these spandex tights and knee-high boots, and
I'm
they
in.
have these like boob windows they call
Totally
it, where
in.
it's cut out in the front.
Where do I get it from?
And they have belts with buckles that have
Mike,
have
I'm
a
in.
D on it. Oh, I don't know. It's different. It's not like that.
There's like a twist to every story kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean they're all tied together, but they're not necessarily friends with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean they're just several supernatural characters who are they have a common bond that they're not aware of, and it's cool, like old school Hammer horror Warren magazine stuff. Warren did these great magazines in the 70s.
Right.
Eerie, creepy, Vampirella, all black and white with gray tones, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now in that format.
In that style, yeah.
Just to make it look like the old stuff. And so I've got a lot of 65-year-old fans who are like, I love it. And those young kids are going, where's the color?
Yeah, I want color.
Actually, they're not. Everybody's been really accepting. And actually, a lot of young readers are like, whoa, I've never seen anything like this before. It's called black and white.
Wait, they used to have TVs like that too?
I heard about that on the internet.
So
it's going good.
So you
and
got that?
we just launched a Kickstarter for that, and that's live right now.
Okay.
So if you're interested in Kickstarter or Daughters of the Dark Oracle or any of that
Back it.
gothic horror kind of stuff,
Yeah.
go to Kickstarter.com and look up Daughters of the Dark Oracle.
Yeah. And by the way, you can there's an app for that too. So if you don't want to get on your crazy computer, you can just download it to your phone.
Is there?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
cool.
and just back it through the app on the phone. It's easy, totally easy. And then on top of it, you get stuff.
Get cool stuff.
Yeah. Now, if nobody backs it, where can they get the books from?
From me.
Okay, so they could order it from.
I hang out at the 7-Eleven. Back behind is by the dumpster, but I park back there and do a little business out of my trunk.
You don't have a truck. You have a Lamborghini.
Yeah. She caught me.
The trailer.
No, I've got a website.
Okay.
Ragdollonline.com.
Cool.
And it's you can order anything there.
Cool. So everybody, get the book. If you want to see what comes out of Mike Wolfer's head, get a book. Get the
Rephrase
Ragdoll.
that, please.
His brain. Natalie's just looking. She's got like, oh god. She's doing little girl things with her arms. And I'm thinking, oh god, yucky.
Sexist.
Don't
that's-
judge him.
No,
Don't judge him.
well, I don't know.
So we just got back from when was that? A couple weeks ago. Did a convention
Yeah.
called DanCon in Illinois.
Orland Park, Illinois.
Orland Park, And that was awesome. We had a great time up there. Our friend Dan Royer and Amy
Is
run the
that
show.
who DanCon is named after?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's his show. Decapitated Dan. He's
Oh, him!
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was him.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's your friend?
Yep.
Hi, Dan. I'm Vinny, by the way.
But yeah, it was an awesome show. Very kind of like, I don't know, what do you call that? Like, they say family friendly, sort of.
Yeah, family friendly, very local. It was nice.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah?
A lot of great people, and we talked up Haunt Squad.
Sweet.
And we heard a lot
We
of
got some
really,
stories,
really
yeah.
cool stories. Who all we talked to? We talked to Nick.
Talked to Nick, we talked to Joel, and then another
Joel,
guy that
that's
I
right.
can't remember his name. It told us a story about the asylum that was shut down.
Yeah.
The hospital.
Dude, if you're listening, we know who you are.
I can
You friended
picture
me
him,
on
I don't remember
Facebook.
his-
I remember it. But yeah. A lot of cool stuff,
Really?
And we heard some stories about people doing some illegal things, and a lot of times there's really great old sites that are out there, hidden away, and they're shut down and they're condemned and all of that, and that's we don't go into places like that, and no one should.
No?
Because they're dangerous. So one guy was
Oh.
telling us a story that they went into it was like an old mental hospital,
Hey.
and they were up on like the third floor, going up the stairwell, and they heard some weird noise, some weird creaking sound.
And then the
And
stairs.
it got louder and louder. Yes, and the stairs freaking collapsed.
No way.
Yeah. And they ran the hell out of there. But, it's dangerous.
And
Dangerous.
before that, they were actually filling up their backpacks with textbooks. There was all these,
Yeah, right. Like
Yeah,
medical
lab
journals
medical
or something?
journals.
Yeah.
and when they got out, they all looked in their bags and they were empty. Nothing that they took was in their bags.
Come on.
I don't know.
But there were,
I don't know.
what was it? There was some kind of, not passes.
I don't know. Yeah,
but
like little ID
badges,
cards or
ID
something.
cards. But
Yeah.
there were enough ID cards that no one knew who took them. Enough for each of them. There's maybe about 8 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty strange.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it was fascinating.
Did you tell him you're full of bunk and then you walked away from them?
No.
No. He seemed sincere. He was very enthusiastic about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny you bring up the whole asylum or hospital stuff. My brother and I, back in the day, why stupid thing keeps going off, and I have it on pause too. So if you hear a bing going off, sorry, it's my phone. Back in the day, in Caldwell, New Jersey, they used to have a place. It was an old tuberculosis hospital, and when I was going to college, back in the day, we used to be right around the corner. The college used to be right around the corner from this place, and it would have these old buildings on this campus.
Right.
So, we would go up there, and we used to have these paintball guns. We used to take those up there for protection because that's what protects you. And we went through, there was a tunnel up there that we went through from the laundry building on one side, and they had all the stuff in there. The old laundry machines were still in there. I mean, it were creepy stuff. We went through the tunnels, through that to the main hospital building.
Now, is this something that you shouldn't be telling?
Absolutely not.
I mean, it was shut down. And,
Totally.
And no.
As a matter of fact,
no trespassing kind of.
they're gone now. They're completely gone. They were actually torn down, and now condos are in their place. But back then, there were about 4 buildings in that area, and then the main hospital, which was knocked down, it caught fire years prior to us going up there. But it was creepy. We walked through. There was one area of one of the main buildings that was busted up. The whole side of the place was gone. They'd fallen over, and we're standing there like these guys were walking downstairs.
Yeah.
We're standing on the floors looking down. Wow, look down there.
Yeah.
You're walking through the basement of one of the other buildings, and the walls, because it's so old, the paint came off the walls, and it's that lead-based paint,
Right.
and it's just laying on the floor, just in clumps,
Yeah.
just on the side. And I'm doing my hand movement so you guys can see that it's going in a clumping sideways.
Now,
So,
was that, when did you go in? During the day or at night?
we went in all the time during the day because we were chicken to go, but we had our guns with us.
Well,
Yeah.
now what was the purpose of going in there?
Just to explore. You know,
Okay.
it's one of those urban exploring type things.
Okay.
It's just curiosity.
So you weren't thinking, hey, let's see if this place is haunted. or
Not at
anything
all.
like that?
Not
Okay.
even thought about it. No. It was
Yeah.
creepy though. And,
Yeah.
you know, there were other people walking their dogs up there. It's part of a park. So they had a, you know, do not enter gate. And then
Right.
you walk up this long road and, you know, the lights are there. They're standing up, but like the lights are hanging, you know, just kind of dangling down. And then you get to the first building. And outside the building were all these file cabinets. You go through the cabinets and had records of everybody who had been there. And then you go into the building. There's no furniture, but the doors are all open. Every place you go, for some reason, every place I've ever gone that's been abandoned, the doors are always open inside.
Uh-huh.
You never walk into a place like, what's behind here, and open the door. The doors are
Oh,
all open. So
yeah.
you walk down this long hallway and you see nothing but doors swung in your direction open.
Oh, and anything could be hiding
Yeah,
behind
exactly.
there.
So yeah.
So now in this first building you went into,
Mm-hmm.
What was the boss that you faced in that?
The boss, well, see, it was this guy. He was dressed up in leather and he had chains. And what
Was it hard to beat? Or?
No, we just ran.
Oh.
You just run away. We
So
don't.
what was your fatality move?
No, there was no fatality move. It's run away. It's shoot. As we're running away, you take the gun and just shoot, pop, 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 and you keep going. And the guy's getting hit with like paintballs. Like, oh god, I'm all messy now.
I gotcha. And then you go on to level 2.
Well, no, we just go back a level because we didn't beat the boss. We just go back and explore. You know,
What kind of gamer are you?
I'm not a good one. I'll tell you that much. Not a good one at all. But yeah, it's funny that you bring that up. So you guys talked about that at a comic convention. What is
Yeah.
DanCon a comic convention
Oh, yeah.
or is it like a multimedia convention? You know, movies.
It was mostly just comics. A lot of conventions now are multimedia. The San Diego Comic-Con. I'm not even really sure why the word comic is still in the title because it's got very little to do with comics
Right.
anymore. It's all about the movies and games, and it's a great way for companies and to promote upcoming works. It used to be just primarily focused on writers and artists and comic dealers, and now it's just like, oh my god, it's sensory overload when you go in there. But yeah, so DanCon, was like a comic con, which I love those. I always excel at them rather than
Was it
ones where
big?
there's pro wrestlers and all of that. When the focus is spread over different kinds of entertainment options, it dilutes things. You know what I mean?
It's
Like
a-
if I go to a Comic Con, everybody that walks through that door is there because they read comics. But when you go to these big fan expo kind of deals, small percentage of the people walking through are into comics. The other people are there to get Carrie Fisher's autograph, or you know what I mean?
Like
know what I
the
mean?
Star Trek type conventions and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh.
yeah, like
Now-
Monster Mania in Cherry Hill. That show's awesome because it's all horror. It's all horror stuff.
You guys go to
That's
that?
what I do.
You go to that one?
We attend.
Yeah.
I used to set up as a vendor. It's hard to get into.
Really?
I would like to get a table at the next one. But yeah, we go and there's all kinds of actors and actresses and directors and all kinds of really cool geeky movie people that we're just like, oh my god, it's PJ Souls, which we haven't gotten to meet her
God,
yet.
I would
but-
love to. And then there's knives. There's always knives. And I have to get one.
Why does it always come back to knives?
Because they're awesome.
Now, who's PJ Souls?
Who's PJ Souls?
PJ Souls Rock and Roll High School Halloween private whatever. I don't even
Oh,
know.
that PJ Souls.
Hey jerk, speed kills. But that's Annie's line.
Oh, that's
Anyway,
right.
Whatever.
I like the fact that you went off mic and
Hey, jerk.
Then there's lines and we're like, oh, I forget my biology book. I forget my math book. I forget my English book. I forget every single book all the time. I mean, that's not it. But it's something like that. She had a
Here
good
at the
haircut.
Haunt Squad podcast, we are very professional.
I would love to meet PJ Souls.
Well, you met Jason. I saw the pictures.
Kane Hodder.
He is one massive dude. That guy's a big guy.
Yeah.
Holy
He's
cow.
Tall, he looks like a mean dude, but he's very nice.
Yeah.
He's very nice.
guy.
Didn't he Leatherface and
No.
some what?
Huh?
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 Kane Hodder didn't play
Well,
Leatherface.
I don't think that was what I was going to say, too.
Oh. Sorry. I should let you finish before I attempt to shoot you down.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, what do you think, you're me? At home. I didn't finish my sentence. Sorry.
No, it's him, Leatherface, and two other guys that started up their own paranormal group.
Is it Hollywood Paranormal? I don't know
Yeah,
the name of it, but
I think it
did
is.
Okay,
see-
are they still doing
Yeah.
it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
you didn't ask him when he was choking you?
No.
Look it up.
Look it up!
Look it up.
I wasn't thinking of that when he was choking me.
Oh boy.
Wait.
Don't read into that. I was just so excited. It's great.
The photos on Facebook, people.
Yeah, check out the photos. It's actually really cool that she actually got choked by Jason. So that's really cool. Is all. Does he? He doesn't still play Jason anymore, no?
He's going to. I thought he was going
Is
to
he?
reprise his role. I
Really?
read something about that. Yeah,
That'd be cool.
it'd be great
Wow.
if I didn't have like half of the information. But
Kane Hodder was an awesome Jason.
I think he was the best Jason ever.
Yeah.
In my
Yeah.
opinion.
I never liked those movies because I was always scared of them.
I think that was the point.
Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of what the
I-
intent of the director.
I remember seeing one scene where Jason picked up a girl in a sleeping bag and slammed her against a tree and
Yes.
Right.
killed her that way.
Yeah,
And that scared me.
yeah.
Yeah.
What movie was that? Was
I
that,
don't know.
Was that Jason X?
No, there was another one where Jason took a
It was
girl in
before
outer
that,
space
yeah.
and dunked her head in liquid nitrogen
Yeah.
and froze her face
Right.
while she was still screaming
Right.
and
yeah.
then punched her in the face and broke her face off.
Yeah.
That scared me too.
Speaking of Jason X, how can we possibly segue back to me?
It's always about you.
You know I worked on the Friday the 13th comic, right? Did
Are you, so wait, you have a connection to Friday the 13th?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Ah.
I was the artist on the book first, and then I transitioned over to writer. And sometimes I did both. And I wrote and drew. I hesitate to mention it. Jason versus Jason X. It was a...
So wait, there were two Jasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where did Jason X come from?
Jason X was already there. It took...
Look it up!
It took... The story... Look, that was the most difficult thing about creating a story. Avatar Press, who I was working for at the time, pitched the idea and said, hey, do a book called Jason versus Jason X. And I'm like, great. I have no idea how that can be possible because it's the same guy.
Same guy, right? Okay.
Yeah. So without doing some kind of effed up time travel thing or something like that, I figured out that, it would be set in the future, in the world of Jason X out in outer space. And he had gotten blown up and blown to pieces in the movie.
Uh-huh.
There was also these like little nanobot things that this technology that could recreate
Things.
people and whatever.
Yeah.
So I can't remember what I wrote. I don't know what the hell the story was about.
You must be really smart, though.
Well, there was a chunk of the original Jason that got reformed into a whole Jason out of body parts of people who had been murdered in Jason X. The little nano things combined. All
It was
those
like a
parts
Frankenstein
and
of
created
Jason.
a new Jason.
So,
the old Jason.
Who was the good Jason? Who was the bad Jason?
In my mind, I thought the old Jason was
Was the good Jason.
one. Yeah.
Okay. Did he make friends with people to help him fight, or he just like?
Yeah, he ran.
God, I ask such childish questions.
He ran a like a lemonade stand.
Oh.
And also did give out psychiatric advice for 5 cents.
Oh. I'm always afraid of lemonade stands.
Okay, tell
You
us
know what
about
kids
that.
put in those. You don't know what kids put in there.
Yeah, I don't like kids selling stuff.
My kids set up a stand out on the sidewalk one year, and they were selling Kool-Aid. And when they ran out of Kool-Aid, they were selling water. And, like tap water. And people were buying it. I think they just felt sorry for him.
Did you yell at them, say, listen, that's costing me a lot of money?
Tap water? You use the garden hose.
Well, you were at DanCon.
Yes.
And, you were having a great time.
Had a great time.
Advertising, Daughters of Dark Oracle, Ragdoll,
Right.
all your stuff. And I saw a Facebook message that you posted just talking about artists taking noted artists' work and reproducing it for financial gain.
Oh, that.
Let's get into that a little bit. I
Okay.
really want to know,
Okay.
we don't have to get into specifics of who you saw,
Yeah.
but your thoughts were pretty damn clear on that, and I'd like to kind of go over that and just let our audience hear about what.
Yeah, that kind of it was just a comment that I made. I wanted to clear the air about my personal feelings. Actually, the way it started was I read a post that someone, an artist, had posted in one of the Facebook comic groups, and this artist said, "Hey, listen, I'm starting out my career. I want to attend conventions, and I want to sell art prints featuring my artwork."
My artwork is the key word there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, okay, a lot of people do that. If you go to any comic convention, you go down, up and down Artist Alley, you'll see plenty of people who are trying to break into the business, and they're selling art prints of, drawings that they've done. So the guy's question was, I've done all drawings of, like Batman and the Joker and Spider-Man and whatever, and I'm making prints and selling them. Is that legal? And I'm like, I'm glad somebody finally asked the question before just going out and doing it. Because the answer to that question is no, it's not legal. Those characters are owned by, the property holders, who are Marvel, DC, whatever. If you sit down with a piece of paper at a convention and you draw a little sketch of Batman and sell it to someone, well, you're selling an original piece of art. You're selling it, like from collector to collector, fan to fan, whatever. It's different than if you manufacture that image. That's a business thing. That's you can't do that. Like, I have a character Widow, right? Somebody at a convention can draw a picture of Widow and sell it to someone. Okay, fine. They have this cool little unique sketch. If that person were to draw a picture of Widow, print up a bunch of art prints, have a stack of them on their table, and they're selling them for $15 a piece, I would go over that table in a second.
Flip it over.
Like, you can't do that. And that's what people are doing in Artist Alley. They're so hungry to get into the industry, and they see everybody else doing it. They think that that's what you do, and that's okay. But in the back of their minds, I've got to think, they must be thinking, I don't know if this is right or not. But everybody's just like, everybody else is doing it, so it's okay. No, it's not okay.
I always thought it was illegal to sell anything that was trademarked. Meaning, like you're saying, well, if somebody's sitting at the table and drawing something and sells it to somebody else,
Right.
so, draws Batman and say, oh yeah, I drew Batman, here you go, sell it. I always thought that was illegal, even to that point.
I mean, if you want to get down to the letter of the law, it probably is. I'm not a legal expert, but most likely it is. But it's stuff like that is it's not it's people don't pursue that. License holders are just kind of like,
Okay.
yeah, whatever. But when somebody throws a T-shirt up on Etsy and it's got a freaking TARDIS on it, I mean, come on, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
You're advertising on top of it, so now you have,
Well, here's the thing. One of the excuses that these people use is, well, I'm advertising the product for Marvel or DC, so they don't mind.
No, you're making money off of that property.
That's a bunch of crap. It's not right. And actually, so I posted this response.
Yeah.
Hey, here's what I think. My personal opinion, and it kind of blew up. And like a lot of people started, artists were going, holy crap, I didn't know that. I'm so glad, because I was thinking about doing the same thing. And okay, fine. It started something. It started a conversation, which was great. Then people started sharing the post, and then more people started seeing it. And a lot of people were saying, hey, this Mike Wolfer guy is right. I'm like, why has nobody been talking about this up until now?
I always thought that was a given.
Yeah.
I did not. I wasn't aware that that people were actually, non-employed artists with those property owners were actually creating, a Batman still and then printing it and then selling it. I wasn't even aware that they were going to these Comic-Cons and doing that.
Oh yeah, and to make it worse, there's people who they've got these huge booths.
Yeah.
And they've got a big backdrop with all of their art prints displayed, all these fantastic pieces of full color work,
Right.
Oh, look, it's Joker and it's Harley Quinn and it's Batman and it's Harley Quinn and it's Spider-Man and it's Harley Quinn. And, they've got all these art pieces. Anybody who knows comics can walk up to that booth, look at those prints and say, hey, did you draw these? Oh, yes, it's all my work. Yeah. Why is that Jim Lee? Why is that one?
Wow.
Kyle Holtz? Why?
So
is
now
that
they're
one?
duplicating the style.
They're just freaking copying other artists' work. Some of them don't even bother to redraw it themselves. They just take it into Photoshop and they make a few little tweaks here and there and they switch the colors around and now it's an original piece of work. But these guys are flat out stealing the work of other artists, claiming it's their own, and selling it to these people who don't know any better. Somebody walks in with their kid, and the kid's like, hey, look, it's My Little Pony. What? It's not officially licensed, right? And people don't care. They're like, it's $10. Who cares? My kid's happy. But damn it, from a creator's perspective, I see that stuff, and it burns me up. Somebody's got to do something about it. And I think all conventions should have some form of, monitoring that they do. Or, like,
I always thought they did.
What do you sell? Let us see samples of the work and have someone who knows what they're doing and going, oh, look, he's copying Frank Miller's work. No, you're not getting into the convention. I mean, it's I don't know.
So from the artist's point of view, from the person who actually copied the work, what could they do to make money? Should they get out of reproducing other artists'
if
work,
they're such talented artists, make up your own goddamn character and sell prints of that. Why don't you start out like the rest of us did instead of ripping off somebody else? Oh yeah, I made my name in the industry by pretending to be something that I'm not.
Wow.
I started out doing my own stuff, my own characters, and you don't make a lot of money that way. Well, that's part of breaking into the industry. You don't like walk in and go, hey, I'm a star. You work your way up. And now, 80 years later, people are finally latching on to Widow. Hey, I like that. That's about damn time.
Poor Mike, he's a geriatric.
I'm closing in on retirement.
Wow, that's really interesting.
I got a little worked up there, didn't I?
No, that's
No, not
fine.
at all.
No.
What do you think, Natalie? I mean, agree, disagree?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
It's against. I mean, it's a law. It's against the law. You shouldn't be doing it. And I think it's up to the people that are running the conventions to put a stop to it.
Now you buy art prints.
Totally guilty. And I never thought of it that way. But I have bought art prints of people who drew like Deathstroke. Love you, Deathstroke. And certain characters. However, I know that it was their style. It wasn't like they were reproducing another artist's style.
Right.
It was actually, their style. But yeah, not their character. So.
I like original art. I don't mean like the actual original art piece because that stuff's pricey, but
Yeah.
like original creation.
Original, yeah.
I'm more apt to support someone who has a totally unique new idea. The same with comics, things that I read. I mean, I see, because I'm tied into the Kickstarter thing. I'm aware of all the other projects that are out there. I keep an eye on it and see what's new, and I see Kickstarters for projects, and I'm like, wow, you're doing a new take on My Little Pony, except it's My Little something else. I'm like, come on. If you can write and draw, then why ape something that somebody else has
Come
done?
up with something original. Yeah.
You can do it. You've got the talent. Be creative.
In this world, though, where everything's been done already,
Yeah.
How can you be creative and come up with something different? I stand on the side of it being really tough to do something like that.
Yeah.
You have a niche because you're involved or you're interested in the old Hammer films, so you have that thing, and you're able to come up with a character that kind of embodies that.
Yeah, but look
situation.
at that in itself. Like, how do I pitch Ragdoll? It's like an old Hammer movie. I'm doing it. I'm not copying,
Right.
but I'm having the same, using the same flavor of those movies. Oh, the artwork is reminiscent of the old Warren Publishing Company books. Well, it's the old Hollywood thing. Pitch the movie to us. It's Terminator meets Meatballs.
Now hold on a second. Now let's get into that.
Let's talk about
My thing is, what I was going to say was that you have a mind for that, so you have the creative aspect in your mind to come up with a story that's interesting. Some of these people just have the idea of the character.
Yeah.
They don't know how to come up with a story for that particular character.
Yeah.
So now what do? Well, they want to draw.
Right.
They want to create art. They have a character. They just don't know how to create a story behind that character that's interesting. So now they're caught between a rock and a hard place. They have the talent to do it, but they don't have the ability to create.
Right.
So now what do? Well, they drive a truck and for a carbonation company and lose the ability.
That was totally random. I don't know where that came from.
So, that's,
Well, do you network and try
Yeah.
to, find a writer? Try to find someone that you can collaborate with, or put an ad on Craigslist and make a friend.
No, people, please, not
Just say no to
Craigslist.
Craigslist.
You'll be murdered.
That's not even
Oh
funny.
God. Oh my God. My parents wanted to. They had an old carpet cleaner that they were trying to get rid of. I don't know why they had a carpet cleaner. At some point, they bought a carpet cleaner.
Okay.
And they wanted to sell it. And I was talking to him on the phone, and my dad's like, "Yeah, I think we're gonna put on this thing called Craigslist." I'm like, no, Dad, no.
No.
I'll never see you again. Oh my God.
No, but seriously, the whole thing with social networking. Get on Facebook, get on Twitter, use all of that social networking. Is this close enough for you?
No.
yes.
Oh,
That sounds great.
gross. Okay, so for instance, Mike, he found his colorist, Cece Dela Cruz,
Yeah.
over Facebook, I
Yeah.
believe, and
Yep.
she's in Spain.
Yeah.
So
There's
just
creators
reach
everywhere.
out there and just try to find somebody.
The internet is a very wonderful yet horrible thing. And the wonderful aspect of it is, it's allowed creators like myself to form friendships and collaborations with people all over the world that, when I first started in 1987, it wasn't possible,
I was drawing in 1987 and reading X-Men and
I
listening
was
to...
drawing and coloring books, color by number. No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Wow.
The old guy jokes. So you used to read Marvel stuff.
Yeah, I used to. Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking around the room, and we're completely surrounded by Iron Man statues.
Okay, well, since the movie came out, I like the robot thing. I was a huge fan of the Transformers when I was a kid back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
And, seeing the new movie that came out a couple of years ago, and then discovering the people who actually create the figures that I have, they're just really interesting looking to me, so I kind of just fell in love with them. But
are you an Iron Man fan?
I know the story very well.
Right.
I'm not a fan of the comic Iron Man. I'm more a fan of the movie Iron Man than anything else. Yeah. In the comic, he always seemed to be a little more brass, a little too brass for me. I more liked Spider-Man. He was my favorite. Spider-Man was my favorite. Spider-Man, and then Batman.
Speaking of Spider-Man, a friend of mine, Dan Seitler, I went to art school with him at the Joe Kubert School, and he just posted a link to an article. They're talking about the new, how they're going to incorporate Spider-Man into the Marvel Comics universe movies, and it's going to be Spider-Man is going to be like 15 to 16-year-old high school kid, and he's going to be fun and wisecracking and all of that stuff, like he was in the comics. And my friend Dan was like, "Oh, isn't it incredible what can happen when the creators are actually familiar with the source material?" Like, yeah, that was Spider-Man. Spider-Man was a smart ass,
right?
Like he's like flipping around and
fighting
these guys, and he's
yeah.
like constantly running his mouth, not in a I'm sorry, I almost said stupid. I'm going to offend people. Not in a Deadpool way. I'm sorry. I don't get it, but whatever. But yeah, Spidey was always just...
I enjoyed that about him.
I loved it.
Yeah, but then again, I was a kid reading it, so hey, I could be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was like, wow, this is a kid.
Yeah.
The embarrassing thing, I used to put bubble gum under my shoe and try to climb walls.
Really?
Yeah.
Did it work?
No, not at all. I was really disappointed too. I would always step on gum on the floor.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna climb my friend's wall. Watch this.
Yeah, don't do that at home.
I had a friend who actually let a spider bite him in hopes that he would become Spider-Man.
Was it radioactive?
No.
Oh.
He just ended up with a spider bite.
Yeah, with a big thing on his finger.
Man, when I was in second grade, my friend Marty Grosser and Marty works for Diamond now, Diamond Comic Distributors. We were, don't ask why, but we were both on the same bicycle. Like one of us didn't have a bicycle for some
Back in the
reason.
day when we rode dual bicycles.
And we were flying down the street, and the bike was going faster and faster. And then, look out! We ended up wrecking, right? So I tore up my elbow, and like a good 3-inch square area of just scraped the skin right off. And of course, it scabbed over eventually. It was a big, horrible scab. And I used to just look at that and go, "I'm turning into the Hideous Sun Demon." I was so excited, man.
And then it healed.
So yeah.
The Hideous
Maybe
Sun
we need
Demon.
to watch that and do a review. Do a review of the Hideous Sun Demon.
I'm scared.
That movie's awesome.
Okay.
They're all
No, she's like, I'm scared. Okay. We'll watch it tonight.
Oh my god.
Well, this was, I think, a pinnacle Haunt Squad podcast. But
it was at least the second.
Well, will we make it to a third? Who knows?
Dun, dun, dun.
But everybody, we basically gave you some comic talk today, and I hope you enjoyed it. It's coming from a real comic book creator.
So I say. I mean, that's...
Well, judging from the Lamborghini, the mansions, that I have to go to every once in a while.
Girlfriend.
Let's not go there now, because we don't want any problems on this Facebook. But guys, check out Natalie Jane.
Don't. Oh god.
If you like the voice, you'll love the rest.
You'll love the rest. Oh, give me those ribs. Oh boy, but listen, To everyone, we have to get going. We have to end this show because it's just going to die on us.
Yeah.
Wait.
So-
Die? Paranormal?
What?
But our next show could have something paranormal in it. We don't know. We'll see.
Nobody knows.
So you're telling us then that it's
Yeah, I think it's
time,
let's see if I can get it to work.
time to break down?
Yeah.
Yep, so we're breaking down.
That was a clip from an actual investigation.
Yeah, that's how we are on an investigation. So anybody out there, just hire us.
Yeah, you know what? Next episode, I want to talk about our actual process of investigating. A lot of people are, hey, what do you guys do? I have no idea. You just walk in and have cameras follow you around. No.
Well, that's what we do.
That's not what we do.
Oh.
No, that's not. That's not what we do.
Oh.
Put on your tightest muscle shirt.
Natalie?
No.
Oh. I also want to get into a little bit, I brought it up earlier, but I'd like to get into the remake of Poltergeist.
Oh yeah, we didn't
really
get to
like
that.
to talk about that
Yeah.
sometime in the podcast because I am a huge fan of the original.
Sure thing.
Because it scared me when I was a kid, but I liked it a lot.
We'll do that.
So everybody, I don't even have any ending music. I'm gonna throw some in there later on. I don't have any ending set up. So anyway, I'm gonna throw something in. But guys, it was great talking to you.
Yeah, had a blast.
And we'll be back hopefully for show number 3.
Yeah, and you guys out there listening, we really appreciate your support. The first episode did so well, and we were like
2 thumbs up.
really, really honored that you guys spread the word the way you did. A lot of people were sharing.
Yeah,
sharing
shout
our
out to
posts.
Tejano 100% for spreading the word on Twitter.
Hell yeah,
Ooh.
Lucha Click.
Lucha click siempre.
Okay, that's something else I want to get into because I am losing my mind.
Oh,
with you
Lucha
two.
Underground.
You know what?
Cero Miedo.
Also, that sounds like a fun thing. Anybody, if we see that you guys are spreading the word out there and we see that, we'll mention you on the podcast.
Heck yeah.
I think that's a good thing to
Sure
get
thing.
people listening. Guys,
Yeah, sure.
ladies, spread the word. If we see that you spread the word a lot and we see it popping up on Twitter. What's our Twitter account?
It is. Our handle is @Haunt Squad.
Cool. Okay, so if we see that there, or maybe we see a share on our Facebook page,
Yep.
Which would be just Haunt Squad or Haunt Squad Podcast, either
We've
one.
got 2,
Yes.
right?
Sure.
2 Facebook pages.
Okay, so we do share through our main Haunt Squad, and we do share from the podcast page as well. If we see that you guys are sharing, we'll mention you on the podcast.
Sure thing.
Any questions? If you guys have questions, ask the paranormal experts. Well, we'll find somebody, but you can send us a question, and we can try.
Our best.
Yeah, we'll make something up.
Absolutely. Wait, no, cut that.
No, yeah, Facebook, you guys.
Yeah.
You can get us there. Just anywhere. Just post and say, hey,
Yeah.
look, I was always wondering about blank, and we'll do our best to give you an answer.
And if we can't answer it, we'll tell you we can't.
Yeah.
We'll be honest with you because that's what Haunt Squad is all about. It's the honesty, and we're upfront with what we find.
Yeah.
We're upfront with what we don't find. So anyway, guys, stay spooky.